Mad Applications Malaysia is a company that specializes in plantation software to give you the green light, to get you moving. Because let's face it, in the plantation industry, in plantation management, there is not a lot of movement when it comes down to technology for plantation owners. Everything is basically done on paper with pen, and that sometimes creates havoc and destroys harvests, or the least thing to say is that the plantation does not reach its full potential as we want it. What we want to do is to open the door to information technology, to our plantation management, maintenance and monitoring system, without having to spend hours and hours on training of your staff, or without using specialized IT people that cost a lot of money. Our software is simply very easy to use. The first software we developed here in Malaysia was for a company called Plantations International Agawood Malaysia. To give you an idea what we have done for that company, we have to explain to you what Agawood is first. So let me take you on a little trip to the plantation of Plantations International in Veldainas, Kulai, Johor. The Gaharu plantation in Kulai has 9,677 Gaharu trees of the species Cresna and Sinensis. That may not be the most important thing for you to realize at this moment, but you have to realize that we can run this plantation software with any kind of product. It is important for you to understand that fact, because our software can be used in a variety of products in the agro and forestry industry. But what does it do then, our software, you may ask? Well, that's all in the name, really. PM3S has 3 M's. The very first one means maintenance. Every plantation needs water and other maintenance works to be done on a regular basis, and they need to be monitored. After all, you would want to control your staff and make sure that they do the job that is necessary to create the right product. And this is where the M stand for in PM3S: plantation maintenance, management and monitoring. Monitoring is an interesting fact though. It would cost you a lot of time to go to your plantation all the time and make sure that people are doing the job. So instead of doing that, we use technology to monitor the progress of your trees, the fruits that grow on it, and everything else that you need to know on a distance. We use iPads to make it as if you are standing there yourself. We use videos, photography, and all kinds of other scientific measurements to make sure that you always know exactly what is happening and when. Because the software is online. The moment the iPad records something with the tree, you can see it in your office. As I said, the process of using the iPad is very simple. You do not have to be an IT specialist. In the end, all the information about the tree or your product will be registered by using this iPad. We will know how fast it grows, whether the product is developing the way we think it should, and as a matter of fact, we also know if there is diseases before they can make any harm, the moment he records it. And if we know that there is a disease happening in our plantation and we can handle it in 24 hours, only 1 or 2 trees will be infected. And that is what we need to know to make sure that your product will grow exactly the way you want it and be ready for harvest when the time comes. Back at the office, the information derived from the iPads via online internet access is opened up by iPhones, iPads, and again, of course, also the computer. All the data is carefully looked upon to see what we need to do and act, and also the boys are checked whether they have been doing their job for the day. All managers and directors and staff have their own passwords and can access the system in their own unique way, seeing things that they may or may not be able to see. This is to prevent other people from coming in and creating havoc in the system. The system is well secured. No one that's not supposed to come in will come in. The second part of this video will show you what happens when you sit behind the computer and you use the system online access via Macintosh. The manager can online access the database by opening the host. This is where the main dashboard will access several companies that we run at the moment. The one that we've mentioned before was Plantations International Agrowood. As you can see, the plantation management part of the system includes accounting, human resources, project management, several photo galleries and a contact database for calling people, emailing people or contacting people in another way. As a matter of fact, if you use Macintosh OS X, you can dial directly from the computer without using your iPhone. Opening up the PM3 system will give us the dashboard from PM3S, Malaysia. Perhaps an interesting thing to show at this moment is the raster map. This shows us the plantation and we can zoom in and we can even retrieve information from one particular tree. Instead of going through all the trees one by one though, it would probably be easier to see the whole list of trees all in one list. This list shows us the codes, the pictures from the trees in question and also the global position, the GPS. And again, this helps us identify all the trees. Another list that I will trigger for you now will show us the growth rate and other conditions of the tree, which includes pH values for soil and all other kinds of factors. This is the listing that our consultants need, so they can see whether trees are healthy or sick and what to do about it. This is one example of such a tree and what we can see in terms of reports. In this case, tree number 017. We have seen the plantation data before in the growth rate list and the list advanced. Also the Minotaur portal, where on the daily basis the trees are measured. But here is an example of what happens when they record a video with a problem. In this case, I've made an example of a video that I shot myself sitting in the car going to a meeting such as this one. And here's the video. As you can hear, it is both audio as well as video. The fact that it is audio as well is very handy, because it means that he can talk while he's describing what he sees and what he films on the camera. That means that he doesn't have to write anything down. He can just film what he sees and with his voice describe what he is filming on the camera the moment he sees it. Perhaps it's also interesting to show you how other plantations are being run. For instance, Gaharu Kapita Management in Indonesia. In this system, we do not just use one plantation and not just one plantation manager. As a matter of fact, we have a system that is comprised of many planting partners, and as you can see here, they're located in the area of Jogja. If we wish to have more information about one specific person, we might want to even open up one specific plot, and then we can find all the relevant information about the planter, which also includes scientific information, but definitely also all kinds of contracts that we made with the person in question, again to make sure that he's doing the job the way he's supposed to. And that obviously also includes monitoring his fields via the iPad system I showed before. We have all kinds of other interesting information that's relevant to the farmer in question. We can also see what kind of intercropping he's doing, if he's doing other products than the product that we want to buy from him. Our system obviously works on the cloud, so if you need to share information with other people, then you have access to a 1 terabyte cloud. Perhaps last but not least, it is interesting to see that we can also show you how to work with our customers. In this case, a web URL is offered to see what the client needs to see from his trees. I will explain to you later why this is important to Gaharu, or the plantation management system in Indonesia and in Malaysia. This is basically what the customer sees when he goes to the product that he owns, or the part of the plantation that he owns, including updates on the trees. However, that's not the way we do things in Malaysia. In Malaysia, everyone that has access to the database can see his products. I will briefly show you what happens if customers from Plantations International buy trees, which they can then see on their own iPad by logging into the CVM module. They will be presented with an easy Touch ID. So in this case, this Touch ID will open up the program from Albert Branuco, as an example. But I will show you that if they would log in under another name, that they would get another client. The client can see the certificate when they bought the trees. It can see the barcodes and other growth factors, so they're fully informed. Again, details on growth performance, but are also presented with a weekly video of their 25 or 50 or 100 trees. That's the way the investment scheme of Plantation International works anyway. We will cut this short for now, but after the presentation we can have a look at the iPad, and as a matter of fact, for your system there are probably very good ways of thinking in terms of plantation partners instead of clients. So recalling the information from one planting partner could be the same as what you see now. It could represent films from that specific plantation partner. But again, more in a minute after the presentation. But it does show that you can also see your plantation in these walkthrough forms anytime you like. And as a matter of fact, you can see 10,000s of hectares every day in the form of these simple movies. Movies that are recorded by the iPad in the field and are viewable the moment they are recorded. Online. Live. And this is basically how it looks when our technician opens up the iPad in the field. First he would open up the database online, and there we are in the dashboard, the way it looks on the iPad. So this is the part of what we call Minotaur. You can input anything you need to input by just clicking with fingers on buttons. It's a very simple system. Anyone will understand, even without knowledge about computers. And you see it appears in the top of the list. The recording basically happens by clicking and going towards the camera, where I will now make a video or a photo. A photo is quite simple and it's immediately viewable. Same way we can enter video. The video is running now, and you will see that I will also record the audio. I can use this video, and now it's in the process of uploading. As you can see, it's already done, it's already uploaded. We can then add some comments, and this is basically exactly the way how we want to open up your gate for the world of information technology and help you run your plantation in a more efficient and more controlled way. I'm Albert Branuco from Mad Applications Malaysia, and I hope you have enjoyed this presentation. After this presentation, I'm ready to show you how it's done in real time by showing you the program on the computer, online connected to the server in our office. Now let me thank you for your attention and the patience to watch this movie, and I'll be ready for you after this presentation to answer any questions and show you stuff right there on the computer. Thank you.